Dear ladies and gentlemen, now I'd like to proceed to the first step of the design thinking approach, and this step is the question: how can we define the problem? One method in order to define the problem is so-called point of view statements, and transferring or transforming the point of view to a defined problem statement or research question, which can be put in the format "how might we?" That means, so if you have found a companion in order to do your seminal paper, the first step could be that you collect insights or point of view statements from your background. So where you come from, what could be challenges, problems to be solved. This is a kind of a brainstorming session. And then you select some of the problems where you think you can solve them within a seminal paper of 12 pages, which might be also feasible, which might be beneficial also for your stream of research, because this could also be a problem statement you could elaborate in a master thesis. So there are several criteria you could employ for selecting your point of views. And then the next step is to frame your point of view statements or your insights in a defined problem statement or research question, and this has the format "how might we?" How might we do anything? So you name a very precise action. Do something, what, for whom? So you name also the stakeholders you address, because it's for addressing stakeholder needs in order to change something, in order to solve a problem. And now I show you some examples. The problem statement or the point of view is that commuters in Stuttgart need for one trip about 30 minutes to or from work, which ends up in finally 60 minutes per trip due to the high congestion level during peak times in Stuttgart region. This is taken from the TomTom traffic index. So it takes twice the time you usually would need if you take your own car because of the congestion level in Stuttgart. So this insight or this point of view you can transform into different research questions or different "how might we" questions. One question could be: how might we encourage commuters outside the city commuting to Stuttgart to switch from individualized motorized transport to public transport in order to lower the congestion level to at least 20% on average? So this "how might we" question addresses the commuters who are living outside the city and commuting to Stuttgart every day for work. They usually use individualized motorized transport, which means their own cars, and you should find means in order to make them switch to public transport with the aim to lower the congestion level. And this aim serves as an evaluation criteria if you have attained your goal, or if you haven't attained it. Another "how might we" question could be: how might we encourage companies in Stuttgart region to offer mobility solutions to their employees with the same aim to lower the congestion level by 20% on average? Yeah. This is a different problem statement which addresses now different stakeholders, meaning the companies in Stuttgart, offering company mobility solutions to their employees. The aim is the same, but you frame the problem differently for different stakeholders in mind with different means. And I hope this example is sufficient that you get a clue what you have to do, collecting point of view statements and transforming them into how might we questions. So basic messages or key messages are the problem definition is at the core of the design thinking approach, and it guides everything you do afterwards. The research of the stakeholders, the ideation of solution, and finally also the selection and prototyping of one solution. And I showed you one possible method is the point of view or the how might we method. Collect different point of views and transform them into a how might we question, which has the format how might we do something for certain stakeholders in order to bring about some changes which ideally you define as precisely as possible. Thank you very much.